All right, ladies and gentlemen, you just saw us moving our mouths and being talking heads, but you didn't actually get to hear our voice.
I'm not going out of the shot again. Not
No,
happening.
no,
I'm
no, no.
here. Okay, quick recap.
Yep.
We've never done a game on Halloween. We've never done a game at noon. It's senior day for Bowling Green. This is Don Brown's last game with the Warrior program. David Irons will be taking over. So Bowling Green has a lot to play for. They're unbeaten. Sorry, I'm not trying to take over. I'm just hitting all the talking points. Lighthouse beat Sacred Heart. Sacred Heart beat Bowling Green. If so facto, you would think Lighthouse would beat Bowling Green, but those guys cross the field. The Warriors have a lot to play for. So it's going to be a special day. A lot of factors with it, but let's close out October with a good game.
And again, Don Brown's final game at the helm. Of course, Dave Irons will be taking over, former player for Aaron Academy, or on the coaching staff with them. And this game, especially for the Bowling Green Warriors, they're trying to give a win for Coach Don Brown to send him off on a high note from his coaching career, which unfortunately has not been over 500. But the more impactful thing for their players is that he's been at the helm and be able to send them off in a good direction.
Yeah, you look at all the turbulence they've had to go through, not qualifying for the playoffs, being in the playoffs last year in a situation that was just, it was not demoralizing. It wasn't the best situation possible.
Right.
You go through this season where you moved to independent, a lot of unknowns. He started the program. He's led them through a lot. He's coached 2 All-Star games. He is a special person. And, not just on the football field, but in his life, being a doctor and a surgeon, he's impacted a whole lot of people. There's been a lot of great players that have come out of Bowling Green. Gage Holman, his sons, Riley Davis, just a ton of great players that have come out. And so, he's had an impact on a lot of people, and this is a special day. So these guys have a lot to play for today.
So do the Lighthouse Christian School Lions, as James said, they desperately need momentum heading into the postseason. Lions and Warriors collide next. kickoff time here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, as the Warriors collide with the Lions. And wide shot, but you see the backside of the Lighthouse line as set for kickoff here. Spencer Thompson and James Shannon bringing you the action here, as we'll get all set in just a few moments as the Lions will kick off. Warriors will receive to start off this contest.
Like I said, a lot to play for. This will be a good one. It'll be a lot of fun. It's like college. It's got a college feel to it, especially almost since we're on a college field. There you go.
Western Kentucky's intramural sportsplex, as it's immediately touched by the Warriors and picked back up awareness by Hunter Kaiser. And we'll see the Warriors offense for just the second time this year in prime time.
By the way, you mentioned that this was our third doubleheader, but obviously this was the pregame intro that people couldn't hear. You mentioned it's our third doubleheader. It's actually our fourth.
I'm talking about third straight.
Yeah, we had we went to Alabama on Thursday and then South Haven CCS on Friday to begin the month. So a month of doubleheaders.
It's been crazy, as Shane Walker will try to carry the ball loose and picked back up by the Warriors. A loss of about 3 on the play.
Both these teams just trying to shake off the cobwebs, especially Lighthouse having to make the trip up. About an hour and a half. About an hour and a half, somewhere in there.
It's a long haul for the Lions, and pitch in the backfield by the Warriors. Blankenship to the right side, weaves through down to the 35-yard line. Gain of about 5-6 yards.
Good carry by Blankenship. He's been one of the key pieces for this team, of course. When we talked about the
Apologize for the interruption, ladies and gentlemen. Our connection just cutting out a little bit there, but we are back. It's about 9:13 left to go in the first as the Warriors continue to push down. They're facing a 4th and 11 here in a few.
No, third.
Down indicator said 4th. It's now changed to 3rd.
Coach Don Brown on top of it. He's got it.
So now a 3rd down here for the Warriors. They're down at 12. And toss right side, almost got a diving catch there. It went between the hands of Blankenship.
That'd have been a great catch. That would have been highlight reel right there. Have yet to see any action with Cam B. He was a key part of that game with Sacred Heart. Of course, Bowling Green coming back from being down 20. And had a game-winning drive potentially and just couldn't make it happen.
Pitch in the backfield, and it's a toss to the end zone, incomplete. It's intended there for Noah Scott. A little bit of trickery there. We saw some of that last night between Ezel Harding and Lancaster.
Well, it looks like he was blinded by the light. Sun, of course, right behind us, and would have been right in his eyes. Oh, dude, I'm sorry. I couldn't pass that one up.
So
I did not force that one. That was there.
Sun isn't even facing the direction of the end zone, man. But
No, it's behind us. He was looking in our direction to try to get the ball. It was right there.
First offensive drive for the Lighthouse Lions today. And it's going to be a carry up the middle. A few yards there for Jamari Teague, who's been a keystone for this Lighthouse offense throughout the year.
And a great open field tackle by number 16, Caleb Smith, coming up. And Teague has been a weapon all year. He's been a weapon throughout his career. Great job with the wrap-up. There's been games where we haven't seen good open field tackles.
A lot of games like that. Second down as a space through the middle for Teague, spinning out several tackles. It gets past the 40-yard line.
Like I said, Teague Great job by that line too, creating some holes. Able to, I mean, you know, we could have backed this truck up and taken it out of the field and gone through that hole. Just a great job by that offensive line. It looks like they're running Kobe Sweat in the backfield.
And they give it to Sweat up the middle, carry for about 7-8 yards. Something James especially likes to see when you have the lineman, as he puts it, the big boys carrying
Close
the
to
ball.
my heart. That hit different. Big boy with the carry. You gotta love it. Of course, Kobe is another guy that been around the program for a long time. Him, Jared Campbell, Jamari Teague, a couple of the seniors here on the team.
And pitch in the backfield to Teague. Jamari Teague trying to find the hole. He gets past several Warriors and brought down at about the 20-yard line. And this Lighthouse offense is pushing down the field.
Spencer, there's a lot of special guests that we could have at this game today. A lot of unique people that could be taking the game in. But you'll notice to our right, there's a dinosaur. It is Halloween. Only on Halloween.
Only on Halloween.
Could you have a dinosaur at your game?
And he's nodding his head back and forth like, I like that play. I agree with this. I agree.
I'd be interested in his commentary.
So, 1st and 10 from Nesbitt, as Nesbitt gets a carry for about 4 or 5 yards there on a 2nd down.
Roar, 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 roar.
That
It's
was your
Halloween.
analysis from
That was my imitation of the dinosaur commentating on the game. It's Halloween, man. You gotta have fun. I'm not even a big Halloween guy. You still gotta have fun though.
I'm trying to think of some dinosaur name that starts with an S. Just trying to make some pun of. That's your commentary from James. Pterodactyl. I don't know. 2nd down. Nesbitt gets back to about the line of scrimmage, maybe a yard gain for 3rd down.
See, now you got me wanting to Google.
Because there's pterodactyl. Because I can't.
No, that's not it. Hang on. Dinosaur names that start with S.
Yeah, no, it's not it because pterodactyl starts with a T.
A Saltosaurus. A Saltopus. That's your commentary from James Saltosaurus.
Saltosaurus, yeah. 5 minutes left to go in the first as Nesbitt hands it off. Teague trying to push through. Brought down Cooper Guy, one of the players to bring him down.
It's an emotional day for Cooper, too. This is his last game.
Yep.
As a senior here on the team. And, you look at Bowling Green's roster, and, of course, Levi Anthony is a senior as well. Cam B, Connor Japp.
4 seniors.
Camby and Cooper have really been here the longest. I think Levi has been here a couple years, but just a special day for them.
About 5:03 left to go in the first as the Warriors called a timeout. And time to tell you the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week is sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Grow, Live, Give, helping you fit all of the pieces together in your financial puzzle. Tennessee Heat Athletics, visit TennesseeHeatSports.com, and by Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and Goodlettsville. Let's get Jets. About 5:03 left to go in the first as so rush by Nesbitt. Tries to push the pile, and on a 4th down, they'll turn it over. Unless it was 3rd down, but
No, well,
turnover on downs. Yep,
we've been having some issues with the down indicators
last few days.
the last 24 hours.
Again, this is Don Brown's final game as head coach of the Bowling Green Warriors, and Coach Irons will be taking over, whether it is as the Bowling Green Warriors again or the Legacy Christian Eagles. We'll see how it goes as movement there. False start, and they'll move it.
And they will get a false start penalty. Spence, I think the clock stopped at 4:08. Fun fact. David Irons and I actually played each other back in. I was a senior before.
And almost tripped up for a safety. Shane Walker manages to avoid the safety there. There is a flag down at the tackle as he gets just about at the 2 or 3 yard line. And it's called against the defense. So they move it forward.
But it was either a late hit or a helmet to helmet. But yeah, back in the day, we only played each other 1 year. I believe he was a junior. No, he was a sophomore. But he was a sophomore, I was a senior, and Aaron Academy Christian Community, we played each other twice. Once during the regular season and then once in the playoffs. So a lot of memories. A lot of guys, common people we know.
Walker loses the football, but it's ruled down by contact.
And I'll tell you what, this will be the first time that, and of course Aaron Academy not around anymore, but this will be the first time that an ex-player from a team is now going to be the head coach of another team. We've had alumni become coaches before, obviously. Right now, Isaiah Austin, probably, the closest example. We've got Jordan Flanders. But it's interesting.
2nd and 11. And carry up the middle by Levi Anthony. Brings up 3rd and 10.
Bowling Green got very blessed with that penalty, but they need to get it going to get out of this end of the field. Of course, Bowling Green playing on the 40 by 80. So you love that, the fact that it's a actual 8-man field.
Walker, left side, tries to find an opening, and a tackle down by. Looks like maybe it's
10.
Searcy on the tackle.
It is. That was a solid one too.
Managed to stop Walker there and gain him about 3 yards for a 4th down. So
that was a harder hit than a test dummy crashing into a brick wall.
And the Warriors.
Oh, the Tom Brady quick kick.
Quick kick there as it goes to the 35-yard line. And we'll see the Lions try to capitalize and get a score here. Nobody has gotten any points on the board to this point.
I was actually just watching a video the other day of quarterback quick kicks. It's a relevant topic. It just happened. Tom Brady, probably one of the better ones at doing it. Ben Roethlisberger. Did you know Ben Roethlisberger's left-footed?
No.
He's right-handed, but he's left. Every time he's done it, he kicks with his left foot. Randall Cunningham, one of the GOATs, was the originator of it. And Jim McMahon has done it a couple times.
1st and 10, Nesbitt hands it off to Teague. Gain of 1 yard for 2nd down, and timeout called by the Lions. As about 1:41 left to go in the first, Coach Hollis will think it over. Lions think it over after timeout. Thanks to all 16 of you watching here this afternoon. As the Lions
Got an equipment issue.
So they're going to have Adam Blevins go, the senior, go in at quarterback while they fix the equipment issue with Nesbitt.
Give a shout out.
Going on with this helmet.
Give a shout out to everyone tuning in, whether you are from back from the Nashville area, couldn't make the trip up, just around the state, or whether you decide to whether you're from up here in Bowling Green, you just decide you want to take the game in. Welcome in.
That's a false start call. They'll move back 5 yards.
Got some early morning jitters you got to get out, and both these teams are slowly working them out. We've seen some good hits. We've seen some good runs.
And handoff to Teague, who manages to push the pile. Gained positive yards there for now a 3rd down and 3.
Well, and having to sub in Blevins at quarterback, a little slow getting the snap exchange and the handoff. Teague doing a great job, though, making the best of a bad situation, just absolutely bowling his way forward for 2 or 3 yards. That's the kind of leadership he brings.
Of course, Jamari Teague, now a senior, will be graduating after this year as they head into the postseason. And as Nesbitt comes back in, he gets brought down for a huge sack.
If there had been one Bowling Green player there,
This can be.
he might have been all right. But there were 2 right in his face, and that's B and Walker both, 2 of their leaders. And you got to be special to get out of that situation. I don't even know that Gage Holman could have gotten out of that situation, and he was a special player.
Josh Austin have gotten out of this situation?
Maybe. I don't even think that.
4th down, the Teague with a deep punt that goes to about the 19-yard line and an attempted return as steps out.
I don't even think Crutcher Ezel could have gotten out of that situation.
And with that punt, it's going to end the first quarter. No score yet between the Lions and the Warriors in the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. Start of the second quarter here in Bowling Green, Kentucky. 0-0 right now between the Lions of Lighthouse and the Warriors of Bowling Green. Spencer Thompson and James Shannon bringing you the action here from the Western Kentucky University Intramural Sportsplex from our broadcasting truck. Shout out to Don Brown on allowing us to use the back of his pickup truck for this, and they'll call it offsides.
Walker. Oh, they're going to call him false start.
False start, yep. Looked like an official pointed to the defensive side at first, but they moved back 5 yards.
And Walker made the hard count. He got Searcy to jump, and he pointed at him, as to indicate, hey, it was him, and then, Official said no, sir. No. It was instigated.
The dinosaur is near the Bowling Green sideline. We'll get a shot of it. And yeah, you could see him a little bit there, but that's got to be distracting. As what a rush by Levi Anthony, avoided a tackle there and gains back about 3 yards.
If this game gets out of hand at any point, okay, just mercy rule, and it's near the end of the game, should we start a petition to get the dinosaur in the game?
I think that would be a major equipment violation if the
It would be a slight equipment violation.
I don't know.
He might not meet the age limit either.
I don't know who. Yeah, I'm wondering who is in that dinosaur. That's the question. As Shane Walker gets a big carry to the right side and collides there with Adam Blevins. And a big
That's a great run. Great run by the young man. And then at the end, putting his head down and saying, hey, I'm going to pick up a couple more yards there. I'm going to look at the replay, Spence. I'm fixing the camera. Walker had a great showing against Sacred Heart a couple weeks ago in that game. He's a fun young man to watch play. And I believe he's only a junior.
Only a junior's got 1 more year with the program. As handoff as the ball is loose in the backfield, and good awareness by Noah Scott to fall back on it.
Kobe Sweat forcing the fumble. Great job punching the ball out. That's that veteran veteran leadership, that veteran caginess, just to know how to get the ball out and make a play happen.
Now a 2nd and 14. Pitch to the backfield. It's a flicker as scramble by Walker, voiding tackles there and brought down at about the 25-yard line.
Didn't quite work out for the young man. Great play call, though. You'll always know when you do a Don Brown game, there's going to be trickeration.
You just create a word on me.
I've heard tricker. You've never heard the word trickeration before?
No.
Yeah, trickeration. I know you were expecting trickery, so I said trickeration just to throw you off a little bit, Spence.
So 3rd down and 13 as Walker under pressure gets across the middle and swatted at the last second.
Jamari doing a great job getting his hand up, breaking the pass up. Of course, looking for his number 1 target, Cam B. It was a good look. It was a great run, great play, great route. T just stepped right in front of it and made the play. Good job.
And blocked punt will give Lighthouse a chance to capitalize, get them inside the red zone.
And at that point, it was kind of telegraphed on 4th down. They're going to go ahead and punt the ball away on a quick kick. Just a little too close, and Lighthouse able to get in there, break it up.
Now a chance for Nesbitt and company on offense to capitalize here.
Looks like that was Christian McLean, the freshman, getting in there and breaking it up, getting the punt block.
Of course, Lighthouse still able to get several wins on the year, even with Christian Sharp out for the year due to surgery on his ankle.
Well, and before everything came out about Sacred Heart,
we'll talk about that after Nesbitt gets a big carry, and the first score of the game goes to Lighthouse. Touchdown.
Great blocking, great play execution. Young man able to punch it in, coming over this season, and he's really made an impact for this team at quarterback. Of course, sorely missing Aiden Hooper, who had a great season at Middle Tennessee Christian. They needed a guy to step in, and Nesbitt was the guy. Absolutely made it happen.
And Nesbitt's only a junior. If he stays with him for next year, imagine how much of a weapon he'll be.
Absolutely.
As the Lions try to go for a 2-point conversion here, and Nesbitt is going to take it up the middle. It's good.
Snap was a little high, but the young man made it work.
So make that now 8-0. And you, as you were saying about the Sacred Heart situation?
Well, before we found out about the Sacred Heart situation, of course, bring that up a little bit. There you go. That Lighthouse Sacred Heart game was massive, happening down in Jackson, because that was for that potentially, looking back in hindsight, it was for that third spot. And Lighthouse got the job done. They only got the one win, the only win of the year. But when they had to win a game, they won a game.
Reminded me of last year when Bowling Green faced off against Lighthouse, and there was the Bowling Green got the win earlier in the year last year, and then there was a situation where Bowling Green, they got into the postseason because of the Tennessee Heat being removed and everything. So it's another similar situation of getting the win done when they needed to get it done. And off high and bounces to the 20-yard line, and attempted return here by Mickey Spence. He gets stopped by that. Gets stopped by Lighthouse at about the 16, 17-yard line.
And it might have gone out of bounds, but the young man wanted to return. Great initial hit, but good job picking up some yards after first contact on the return.
Now we'll see if the Warriors can respond to the first touchdown of the game scored by Lighthouse. Walker is going to take it. Tries to tiptoe the sideline, but stopped out of bounds.
Of course, Lighthouse and Bowling Green, they do have a history. I'd have to look back at the game history and kind of see what the record is. But both teams have gone back and forth. I know Bowling Green got the win, I believe, twice last year. No, Lighthouse won when they came up here.
Referee kids signaling for the clock to wind down, but the scorekeeper nothing doing as we'll wind it there, and up the middle. A carry as the ball pops out last second, but ruled down by contact.
Well, these two teams, like I said, they have a history. You think about the players that have come through both teams. I mentioned it for Bowling Green. Of course, you've got Gage Holman, John Stock, Riley Davis, Spencer Baird, the Brown brothers, Tanner and Tucker at quarterback. Cooper Guy out here, Cam B out here. They've had some guys come through. Joel Thomason.
A lot of great athletes have gone through the Warriors program, several-time All-Stars. As scramble here, Walker gets the toss up and swatted last second by Nesbitt. Brings up fourth down.
And then you think about Lighthouse, even since Bowling Green's come in and they've started playing, which they started in 2014, kind of keeping the tradition of a Kentucky 8-man football team. Up until 2011, you had Evangel Christian out of Louisville. 12 and 13, you had the Western Kentucky Trailblazers out of Paducah, the Paducah area. You had Madisonville there for a while.
Several independent programs across the region as Walker scrambles and gets forced to be tripped up. And play made there by Landon Turner.
Trying to move around a little bit and create some space. Just Turf Monster made the quick road trip up here to Bowling Green. He didn't quite eat him up, and he just, stuck his hand up real quick like the Undertaker, tripped him up, put his hand back in the ground. And it was a turnover there, Spence. Lighthouse going on. It was a turnover on downs. Lighthouse going on offense.
They start out with it. It's the first time in a while I've seen someone start out with a first and goal with a turnover on downs. Now, handoff up the middle and flag in the backfield down to about the 4-yard line. And see what the call is. A holding call against the offense.
And they'll move it back.
So it looked like a positive gain. So 1st and goal on the outside of the 10-yard line coming up.
Doesn't happen that often, but it does happen occasionally.
Referees wondering where the scoreboard keeper is because keep asking for the clock to wind. And they get it there. About 8:15. About 8:15 left to go in the first half.
Oh, Kobe Sweat back in the backfield. Him and Teague.
Nesbitt immediately brought down by that Warrior defense.
Well, I mean, he's a big old boy. It's hard to bring him down. They didn't quite bring him down. They stopped him. You ain't bringing a dude that size down when he's 6'2", 6'3", and you're maybe 5'11", 5'10", maybe. Ain't happening, sir. And he may be taller than that, and Bowling Green may be tall. It may be a 6'4", 6-foot situation. You're not bringing a big boy like that down. But like trying to bring Kobe Sweat down. It ain't happening.
2nd and goal. About the 20-yard line as Nesbitt spins back to about the line of scrimmage. 3rd and goal coming up.
Now, see, that time you can bring him down. They went low. They tackled around the legs. You take his base out from him. There you go. That first play, they were pretty much giving him a bear hug. And that's like trying to give me a bear hug. You're not taking me down. You can take my legs out, and that's fine. But you've got to have great form on your tackle, and that play right there, great form.
So a 3rd and goal, 20 yards to get to the end zone here for Lighthouse. Nesbitt carry up the middle as stays on his feet to the end, stepped out of bounds just short. Close there. The question is, did he tightrope the sideline there?
Let's see.
So it'll be 4th and goal. Not as much gain there. And
right there.
Yep.
They're going to say right there.
We at least had a good angle. Good angle.
That was a good angle. Thankfully, those players have to stop there at the 30 or the 25 rather on an 8-man field. Able to get that shot there in the corner.
So 4th and goal on about the 6-yard line as timeout called by the Warriors with 6:41 left to go in the second. The Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week, sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Grow, Live, Give, helping you fit all of the pieces together in your financial puzzle. Tennessee Heat Athletics. Visit TennesseeHeatSports.com. And by Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and Goodlettsville. Let's get Jets. Spencer Thompson and James Shannon bringing you the action here from Bowling Green, Kentucky at the West Kentucky Intramural Sportsplex as the Lions look to get their 2nd win of the year and build momentum heading into the TSIA playoff game against the Ezo Harding Christian School Eagles next week. Not a long distance for them to travel for that playoff game for the Bowling. Another brief connection issue, but we are back as didn't miss much, just a loss of about 4 yards for a 2nd down.
Spence, if I'm wearing a black undershirt, does that mean I'm back in black?
Sure.
Okay. Just asking. I mean, of course, I'm repping my pink 8-Man Extreme shirt. Last day to rep breast cancer awareness.
Yep. Last day for that, and
you know what November is, right?
No Shave November. That's why I shaved this morning.
No, it's Military Appreciation Month.
It's both. Military Appreciation Month and No Shave November. Of course, Veterans Day in November. And maybe we should look into making a camo logo of the 8.
I was literally just thinking that would be incredible.
I know some people in logo design.
I know a guy right here that does shirts. We might have to.
Well, I'm not talking just about shirts. We're talking about logo design in general. We could market it as that. But anyway, shot of the field there is a timeout, I believe, called by Hollis and Company with about 4:44 left to go in first half. Coming up on the Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report. And, of course, we're in Bowling Green, just about an hour and a half, 2 hours south of Kentucky Kingdom.
Is it that far up?
It's in Louisville.
Oh, okay. That's right. It's what's the one here in Bowling Green?
Beach Bend.
Beach Bend.
But anyways,
not as good as Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay,
nope.
But
Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report. We'll give you our thoughts and analysis on the first half.
Oh, what happened? What happened to the dinosaur? He's over there. It's over there.
It's deflated. Oh.
Aw. I'm kind of bummed out now.
The only problem is, here's what we do. We first pitch the idea, give the dinosaur a coaching position. He can really make a difference. Then the coach will make the legitimate argument. The only thing he'd ever go with is a T position, T formation. Have the legitimate argument for that, and we couldn't say anything else to it. 4:44 left to go in the first half.
Oh, the horns up here in Kentucky work.
Horns work up here. Apparently, turn signals don't exist. It's tossed to the left side, incomplete. Pass intended to Gage Blankenship. And the incomplete pass there to bring up fourth down.
I don't think they work in Tennessee either, bud.
Nope. No, they don't. They just don't work in the Southeast. I have come to that conclusion. I use them all the time.
Oh, now, come on. Okay, I use my turn signals unless I'm in a designated turning lane.
I still use them.
Why? It's redundant. You're already in a lane you can only turn left in.
It's common courtesy.
How? To who? Oh, you got the punt away that time.
Punted away, it goes down to 35, and Nesbitt is going to try the return. Nesbitt weaves out a one-man, brought down by 3. First and 10 here for Lighthouse to try and get another score in. Just a reminder to you all, if you have not participated in early voting at this point, A Man Extreme encourages you to vote. You'll go out and vote for not just the presidential 2020, but for any openings or
absolutely
vacancies for senators, congressmen, local representatives, all that. Just make sure you vote with Election Day coming up on Tuesday.
Well, and obviously, everyone, the most visible one is here. I'll let you.
Nesbitt tosses it across the middle. It's intercepted. Gage Blankenship with the pick, and he's still on his feet. Looks like he's going to weave around. No flags on the field, and a pick 6 for Bowling Green to score
right
first.
in front of that. He stepped right in front of it. Great job reading the play. Boom. Read the route and takes it to the house. Gives Bowling Green a little adrenaline shot in the arm.
You can see Don Brown getting extremely hyped on the sideline for that.
What I was going to say a second ago is obviously the presidential election is very visible and, everyone. But, and it does impact you. But what impacts you also is your local elections. You got to know senator, representative, mayor, council person.
2-point conversion attempt by Blankenship trying to get through. Ball loose at the goal line. They rule him down. It is no good. So 8-2-6. The two-point conversions may be the name of the game here with 4:10 left to go in the first half.
See, I went to my local early voting facility on Thursday. Went and worked. My employer's great. Gives us the time to go vote, and because once you get off, it's kind of a rush to make sure you can get there in time and get in. So they allow us time to go vote. So very appreciative of that. But just go vote.
I voted by absentee ballot earlier this month and tracked online that it was officially counted on October 23rd. So.
Oh, you were just testing the system, weren't you?
No, you could. I live in Williamson County, and they legitimately you can list as a when you submit your absentee ballot, you can request one based off of if you're enrolled in a university that's not in your county residence. Which is my case because I go to MTSU, which is in Rutherford. So, and goes 10 yards and gets down at about the 39-yard line. But regardless, the point is we encourage you to vote and go out because your voice does matter for the 2020 election.
Well, and it's that, but also my thing I say to everybody, look, if you don't go vote, right, and then you want to complain about the results of the election over the course of 4 years, you want to complain about how, guess what? You didn't vote. You didn't put your say-so in. Regardless of who you voted for, you should still, make your voice be heard. Exercise that freedom, that right.
Lighthouse on a 1st and 10 as Nesbitt. The ball pops out and it's picked up.
That might have been the craziest fumble. And Teague is down. Oh, he's back up.
And I just realized it was lucky that the play happened kind of in front of us there because I forgot to swap it back over from the.
Did we get any kind of a shot from the replay off of that wide angle?
Yep, boop, right there.
Oh, that's great. I've been doing this 7 years. I've never seen that happen. I've never seen a ball carrier have the ball pop out to another player and go. Now, I've seen passing situations that happen with passes, but not on a running play.
Another timeout called as the clock winding down here in the first half as I believe the Warriors are thinking it over again. .338 left to go in the second quarter. As pushed up the middle, Kobe Sweat getting the carry. Another thing James loves to see with a gain of 4 yards.
A couple minutes ago, had a little truck parade go down the road behind us, and a couple of the pickups had some train horns, and kind of wish one of them had come by just now and blew the train horn because that's what it was like when Kobe Sweat's running the ball. Just blow the train horn. Big old boy coming through.
Maybe that's an idea for Lighthouse when they have more home games next year. Can have a freight train horn anytime they score a touchdown.
I would be down with that.
Pick up something similar to the Nashville Predators, who also support the Lighthouse Foundation.
They're great partners.
As Nesbitt is going to keep it and move the chains for a first down. I believe inside the 10-yard line as the Lions continue going for 1st and goal.
Good hard run by Nesbitt there. Just he bore down. He said, "Hey, we're gonna get inside the 10. We're gonna make this a situation where we're gonna punch this in, go up by a score, and of course they get the ball after halftime." So,
Lighthouse will receive for the second half as they try to punch another score in and go make their lead by 14, potentially 10. Nesbitt gets stopped behind the line of scrimmage, lost several yards there, and brings up 2nd and goal.
Bowling Green boys, I bet you they had to have been looking at Nesbitt like a cookout milkshake, and they all just swarmed to it and took him down.
No 2-minute warning in high school football as the Lions taking their precious time here.
Well, and you want to stretch it out. You want to make this last as long as you can, get the score. That's like we said a second ago, going to halftime. Come out of halftime, get the ball, and drive it and kind of put the game away early. But, you know, Bowling Green's got something to say about it.
Nesbitt under pressure, gets through the middle, trying to dive for the goal line, but just short. It'll bring up a 3rd and goal.
Well, and great job by Nesbitt correcting on that. The play was designed to go to the left, but he saw that the defense was moving that way, made one man miss, and cut up right inside.
Heard it from several people around the league where they believe Nesbitt is one of the best players on the team, and just potential proof there as he gets a touchdown.
Second touchdown of the day. He's earning his keep. He's just such a hard runner. And that is one thing we'll have with the battle for the bell next week. You get to see Nesbitt and Liddell one-on-one.
Talk about a fast-paced game. It's going to be rush heavy for both sides in that quarterfinal. 2-point conversion attempt here as Nesbitt hands it off to Teague. Jamari Teague to the goal line. It's good.
Teague, a couple jump cuts there, and just jump cut until he found a hole and punched it in.
Make that now 57 seconds left to go in the second quarter and in the first half as Lions lead by 10 and the Warriors trying to respond. They at least got a pick 6 earlier, couldn't capitalize on the 2-point conversion, so it now makes them down by 10.
And I think you'll see Walker start airing it out a little bit more to B and Blankenship, trying to get the ball moving down the field, trying to get it going. Try to punch in real quick right before halftime.
You think they scored too early here for the Warriors to potentially capitalize?
We're about to find out. If Bowling Green can get some passes going, they'll be all right.
And onside kick attempt as it doesn't go the full 10 yards, but it's picked up by Cam B and gets a few positive yards there as 57 remains on the clock.
Well, that works to their favor. Ball's going to get spotted at the 32-yard line. Correction, 33-yard line. They're going to go 33 yards. That's the only downside to doing that quick kick there. The little onside is and actually, that was a really good decision by Cam B. I mentioned earlier one of Lighthouse's kicks almost went out of bounds down here around the 20. And Bowling Green, I said, you can get a return, but if you let it go, it goes out of bounds and you get more yardage. That was a good situation, a good decision up here for Cam B to go ahead and grab it. They would have gotten the ball here on the 40. Instead, he picked up an extra 7 yards.
Looks like whistle blown dead on the side, and not sure what the call was. The reason was for the whistle being blown there. Side official, guess disregard. 1st and 10. It's Walker and blown dead. Likely a false start. Brown is having a conversation with possibly an equipment violation, because they were talking about Cam B. Something possibly going on with his helmet or something. Looks like he's got a knee down and maybe injured. Play resumes, 1st and 10. Walker is going to carry it. Gets out of bounds and stops the clock at 50.
He's not a big player, but Shane Walker's got a lot of power, a lot of punch in his power in his punch. That's what I was trying to say. Got a lot of power in his punch. And a great job getting out of bounds, too. Get that clock stopped.
There's a flag down, so they're going to call a horse collar against the defense. And that'll move it up forward. Another lucky break for Bowling Green. Clock continues to run. Inside the 20-yard line, the Warriors have a chance to capitalize here. Walker to the end zone. Overthrew his target. Incomplete, intended for Cam B.
And a good, again, another great route, going over the middle, going over the top. He had his man beat, just a hair overthrown. If you bring it down a little bit, over the shoulder grab, you're not dealing with the sun because you're not looking back directly into it. Be a beautiful touchdown.
And false start call, or either that or an illegal motion on the Warriors, so they move it back 5 yards. Well, Don not appreciating that call. 2nd and 15. Walker tries to avoid the tackle, brought down in the backfield. Sweat and Nesbitt bringing him down. Don Brown will call a timeout here.
A lot of sportsmanship there between Nesbitt and Walker. You gotta love it. You love seeing it.
.26 seconds left before the end of the first half as Walker carries it. The collision there with Lighthouse player as they try to get it down the field.
Looks like that was Searcy.
And
miscommunication with the timeout situation.
so it's going to take it down to final few seconds, and Walker, final play of the first half is Walker going to get it to the right side and shove there, and flag comes in the far side.
You got to flag that pass interference.
Oh, pass interference there.
Nesbitt not agreeing. Can we get the replay real fast? Can we get the end of it?
See the back end of it here. There wasn't any contact from his arms, but it's close.
That's close. And as we know, in football, the offensive player usually gets the benefit of the doubt.
And because of it being a defensive penalty, they have one untimed down. Final play of the first half, barring a defensive penalty. Walker, he's got pressure. He's trying to carry it, but staying in bounds, avoiding tackles, and nothing doing. That's going to end the first half. Lighthouse leading by 10, 16-6. We'll be back in about 30 seconds for the Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report in the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. Welcome into the Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report. I'm Spencer Thompson alongside James Shannon. 16-6 is the score right now at halftime. And for Lighthouse Christian School, when you're matched up against a team like Bowling Green, they're being as successful as they're able to, and they're having the senior festivities right now for the Warriors. But at least for the Lighthouse Christian School Lions, it's just everything but successful for them.
Yeah, and I mean, the game is a lot of what I anticipated, a very run-heavy. Two teams that they like to keep the ball on the ground, but, you know, at the same time, there's been some great plays on both sides, especially on defense. You had Gage Blankenship's pick six. You know, basically the highlight of the first half for Bowling Green. And for Lighthouse, E.J. Nesbitt's just been an incredible force for them and has really brought a lot to the table. So there's been moments. It's been a little bit of a slower first half, but there have been moments, and you got to love it.
And for Don Brown, he's got a lot to talk over with his guys being down by 10. What's the main message he'll be giving to his squad going into the second half?
You got to keep doing what you're doing. You got to. Lighthouse has done a great job of pursuing Walker all day. Between Sweat and Nesbitt and Searcy, they've done a great job shutting him down. And so, you know, obviously right now doing senior day ceremony, and it's emotional, but, you know, second half you got to come out, you got to start punching, you got to start swinging. It's been a very defensive first half for Bowling Green.
And about 10 minutes left on the scoreboard. Thank you for watching the Kentucky Kingdom and Hurricane Bay halftime report. We'll be back in about 10 minutes for the start of the second half in the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. Start of the second half here in Bowling Green, Kentucky, as the Warriors get the ball and will receive it for the second half. Spencer Thompson and James Shannon bringing you the action here from Bowling Green, Kentucky at the Intramural Sportsplex at Western Kentucky University. And it's
might help if I bring my mic down.
Might help a little bit. It's been a decent game so far.
It has. The Hattie T. Preston Intramural Complex.
Named after...
Might need to do a little research. We did not do the research.
We did a lot of research on this rivalry and the amount of times we've been here, and we're going to dissect into that a little bit coming into the second half, and of course highlight the history of Don Brown, since this is the last game, and of course the last game of the regular season. And again, this is the first time we've ever broadcast a game on Halloween, just the way that things worked out in the 7-year history of 8-Man Extreme. Haven't had it, as Nesbitt gets a gain of about 2 yards.
I believe the last time there was a Halloween game on a game day, it would have been 2014, and that was my first year doing this, and I was live tweeting and quick scoring on Max Preps. I don't even remember what game I did, but
it's been a while.
Yeah, this is the first time that a game day and a Halloween have lined up. So there you go. Always about first year, Spence. First noon kickoff.
As Teague goes up the middle for a gain of 2, and we've done early games before. You and I have woken up. You know, I woke up at about 7:30 this morning. Took the drive up to your place. Picked you up in White House, and went up here. And you know,
I know we've done a couple games in Knoxville.
Yeah, where you've had to swing through Nashville, and then we had to.
But I think that was a 1 o'clock kickoff. No.
1 Eastern.
1 Eastern. Probably. 12 noon technically.
So,
all about first, Spence.
Yep. As Nesbitt again goes up the middle and trying to push through, will be short of the first down.
It's a sign of growth. You're always doing something new that makes sense, and you know, always able to better the situation and better yourselves.
So now a 4th and 2 situation for the Lions, and
I can't tell if our friend the dinosaur is asleep or if the out of costume. I think he's out of costume.
I think both.
It might be both. Might be a little mixture.
Kind of regret not walking over at halftime and saying, "Hey, can we get a camera shot of you? Can you get back in the costume and everything?" But they waiting for an official signal, and it's a turnover on downs. Bowling Green will have a 1st and 10.
Big defensive stop there by the Warriors just to come out of the half and make a stand, and that's what they needed.
The clock continues to run, but you know Don Brown started this program back now for you guys, 2016, 2015,
2014, I believe.
2014, something along those lines. He's been the head coach of the program for all of that time. And
here, let me check.
Actually, I could tell you by looking at the preview as well as we go along this game here. The Bowling Green offense. Look at the 2020 preview of the independent teams. The Warriors' 5th season. So you go 20, 19, 18, 17, 16.
Some solid math there, Spence.
So So they started in 2016, and since then, of course, you know, it hasn't been. They made it to the playoff.
No, it wasn't 2016. There's no way it's 2016.
If it's his 5th season on the preview. As the refs are, they're measuring it here. It's a 1st down.
Well,
that's one of the few times you see a measurement there.
I didn't see the card come out, so.
You see
2015. 2015 was their first season.
Okay, so you have.
That's right, because you had Evangel Christian in Louisville up until 11. You had Western Kentucky in 12 and 13. No, 13 and 14, and then Bowling Green came along. There you go.
So then the preview said 5th season when it should have said 6th season. Because
15, 16, 17, 18. Yeah, you're right.
It happens.
It happens.
We realized that after the fact. But Nesbitt gets brought down in the backfield. It's a tackle made by Levi Anthony. And Don Brown, of course, is his 6th season as a head coach. He's been a major source of growth for Bowling Green Warriors, of course, helping them rent the Western Kentucky Sportsplex, helping them pay for jerseys and getting a new logo design and everything along that.
He started the program.
Yeah, he started it and very much led by example in all the things he's done behind the scenes. I mean, we're in the back of his pickup truck for this broadcast, and as Teague tries to carry it up the middle and stop by the Warriors there, and it is a shame to see that Don Brown is stepping away, but at the same time, it does turn a new chapter for the program to see where they go.
First off, I want to give a shout out Cooper Guy on the tackle there. Anyways, yeah, I mean it is, but at the same time, he's stuck around for 2 seasons past. Obviously one of the biggest reasons of him starting it was to give other kids a chance to play, and his sons as well, who were in Bowling Green Christian, and wanted to give them an opportunity to play football, and a lot of other young men have benefited off of that, not just from Bowling Green, but just the teams he's coached in the All-Star games. He's been a 2-time coach. I believe he's a 2-time winner as well. And you have a conversation with him, and he's a good man. Mm-hmm. I haven't heard a lot of negative about him, but it's gonna be fun. And if they become the Eagles next year,
as Nesbitt stays on his feet.
Goodness.
Doesn't convert the first down, so the Warriors will take over again, but
there'll be no measuring this one. It was clearly short of the first down.
As the clock continues to run, but
if Bowling Green does become the Eagle, first off, I'm going to try to get one of these jerseys. I want one of these jerseys. They'll be defunct, not in use anymore. I mean, these jerseys right here are sweet, are great. I'm also glad they didn't go with their black ones. More than likely because it's in the middle of the day with the sun. That makes sense. But these green jerseys right here, they've had them for a minute, and I really like them. I want to get my hands on one. I want to get my hands on a helmet, too.
You're just the merch guy.
No, I'm a memorabilia.
Well, memorabilia merch guy.
I do have a pair of Bowling Green shorts.
As Shane Walker carries up the middle there. And
you think I'm kidding. I have a pair of Bowling Green basketball shorts. I don't even know where they came from.
Again, you just get a lot of merch. You've got, I think, 2 schools that haven't given you caps yet. 3.
Well, I collect shirts and caps.
Yeah.
I have nothing from South Haven Christian.
Mm-hmm.
I have nothing from Lighthouse Christian. Nothing from Sacred Heart. Tennessee School for the Deaf loves sending shirts.
For either of the Franklin teams?
Nope. I have nothing from either Franklin team either.
And it's carry up the middle there for Shane Walker again, as it looked like it was Searcy who got the tackle on that one. And
now I do have gear from some defunct teams: Hendersonville Christian, St. Andrews Swanee. I never got anything from Pleasant View. I just like repping. I like repping schools merch when you're out and about. You wear a Tennessee Heat hat.
Does that mean for the championship game for the TSIA, whoever carries the ball, you'll have the cap and a shirt. Mine for them. It's possible. It depends on if.
I don't know. I'll either wear something for both teams, or maybe there'll be some merch repped on our end. We've got plenty of merch. A little 8 = 11.
As well, the same thing with Coach Brian Hollis. He's not leaving after the season, of course, but he's assistant athletic director over at Lighthouse Christian School. He kind of stepped into the position of head coach after DeJuan Sharp took a job at Overton.
No, I believe it was Father Ryan.
Father Ryan, yeah, he took it as
he's still on his feet.
What a run by Walker! Gets to about across to the 40-yard line, and we'll catch the replay on that.
And he does grab the first down.
Gets the first down there as Shane Walker.
Great job on the run. The young man just would not go down, making his moves. That's a quick young man.
Shane Walker with the
They're trying to punch it in here. You don't have you have time, but you're losing it very quickly. Of course, you can't see the whole offensive line for the only time in existence of the world.
And slings it to the left side. Wide open is Gage Blankenship, and a touchdown for the Warriors.
A little bit of blown coverage there for Lighthouse, and a great job. Walker finding his man. He's been trying to get B or Blankenship all game. Now Blankenship, it's his second touchdown. He had the pick six in the first half. The young man making an impact, and he's only a junior. So you look forward to what his senior season might be like.
Make that now 16-12, of course, so they missed his first 2-point conversion from that pick six. So no chance to tie.
Got Cooper Guy in the backfield.
As they try to get through, the 2-point conversion is no good, so down by 4 with 5:30 left to go. 5:30 left to go here in the third quarter. The Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week is sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Grow, Live, Give, helping you fit all of the pieces together in your financial puzzle. Tennessee Heat Athletics, visit TennesseeHeatSports.com. And by Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and Goodlettsville. Let's get Jets. And onside kick attempted. Unsuccessful as Lighthouse gets it recovered there. And
it was close.
Close one there.
Bowling Green just about got the ball back, down by 4. You punch in, you get the 2-point. Now you put Lighthouse down by 4, but they need to make another defensive stand here. They just did it earlier. Of course, Lighthouse scoring later on, but Lighthouse has had 5 or 6 drives, and they've only scored twice. A couple of good defensive stands here for Bowling Green. Like I said, they're not a big bunch, but they are scrappy.
1st and 10 here. Nesbitt loses the football but gains it back and tackled down by Cooper Guy. And
old first down marker right there in the way. Can't really see a whole lot. There we go. Let's move to the side a little bit.
Loss of a yard. We were here in 2018. We did their game against, it was either South Haven or Sacred. It was Sacred Heart was the later one because that determined who was going to go to the MTAC Bowl. And Bowling Green, of course, won with that and then took the loss, or got the win against Riverside to become MTAC Bowl champions. But the reason we hadn't come was the first time that we have ever come back since then was because that was pouring rain and our equipment almost got damaged there as the athlete stays on his feet. Jamari Teague brought down for a gain of just a gain of a yard to midfield for a 3rd down and 9.
Well, and of course, if the weather had been different this afternoon, we wouldn't have been able to make the trip up. But thankfully, a nice, beautiful day. Able to catch this season finale between the two. Actually, we knew about this being on a Saturday for a while now, and kind of really been looking forward to it. We love to kick off the season. We got the season kickoff game between CCS and the Tennessee Heat, and now we're doing the season finale. So awesome to be able to do both of those.
62 degrees and sunny outside, and it's on a 3rd down. The Warriors stop Lighthouse and force them to a 4th and out as they call a timeout here with about 3:50. The clock's still winding down.
They stopped at the 3:48.
Yep, 3:48 left to go in the 3rd. But as we go to the wide shot here, it's the only reason we didn't come back in 2019 was because of the situation with the equipment. We fortunately nothing got damaged from that.
Well, not a lot of situations that we were able to come up to in terms of games and weather, and nothing really intersected the way we needed it to where every situation to where the situation is ideal for us to come up. So But happy to be up here, to make it up here this year, especially with everything crazy going on. But always love coming up here and interacting with the folks up here in Bowling Green. Always a good time. Very hospitable, very generous.
Kind of miss the old PA guy. I wonder where he is.
I don't.
The Bowling Green, Kentucky. I know you don't miss him, but.
And that's not in a facetious way. I just don't. Anyways.
But the history here.
They don't have any PA guy here today.
Yeah.
A little bit of music.
Yeah, they have a DJ here to do music for their senior night and everything. As fourth down, as Nesbitt shovels it to Teague, and they won't get the conversion.
They'll stop him again.
Yep.
Second straight drive, they shut him down. Bowling Green coming out here in the second half, ready to go. But you mentioned the game in 2018. Of course, we came up here for their game against South Haven. Game against Sacred Heart. 2017, was it 2017? The 78-50 game against FCA.
That was 2018.
It was 2018.
2017, we did their game against the St. Andrew Swanee Mountain Lions.
In Swanee?
That was here.
That was here. Yeah. Oh, that's right.
And that was
I almost forgot about that game.
That end play where it looked like it may have been a forward pass, and didn't call it there from the officials' angle as they continued clock running. But that was a game that ended in dramatic fashion, because towards the edge of the end zone on this corner over here, it was a touchdown. Looked like it was a shovel pass forward past the line of scrimmage, which would have been the legal forward.
It was a crazy situation. Of course, 2018 went back down and did Bowling Green's St. Andrew Swanee again.
Yep.
That one ended. It wasn't controversial, but
we actually didn't end up as Bowling Green gets a carry here for a gain.
No,
almost to the first down. We didn't broadcast that one because the connection was bad. We went down there in 2018.
We did watch it though.
Yeah, we watched.
That was the one where.
That was when we decided we can't go back to Swanee until they get internet.
Well, that was the one where Bowling Green, they were about to get stopped by Swanee, and then Coach Hargis picked up a couple penalties,
yep.
And it gave Bowling Green a first down and kind of ended the game. It was 20-17 was the final, I believe.
Yep.
Pretty crazy situation, or 20-16 maybe.
No, it was 2018 with those penalties, but the final score on that Bowling Green got the W and first and 10. So Bowling Green pushing down the field again with about 2 minutes left to go in the third. As
Bowling Green and Franklin Classical, they've got some history.
Mm-hmm.
They've played several times. Of course, the Bowling Green Riverside situation 2 years ago. Everyone found out about Coach Creasy right before Riverside came up here, and then they moved the bowl game back down to Fayetteville. We were able to be there, and just a great game for both teams.
Right side, and what a catch! A reception made. He's been looking for those diving catches all day, and Blankenship finally gets one to extend the downs.
Let's see what we got. Oh, what a catch. I wish I'd zoomed in just a little bit, but you still get the great view of the young man laying out for. He tried it earlier in the game, and it didn't work out here on the other end of the field. He got it that time.
And flag there for a encroachment on the defense, so another 5 yards.
Spencer, Bowling Green's made this ball game. They've got a knack for coming back.
Yeah.
Down by 20 to Sacred Heart. They came, within a touchdown. They had the game-winning drive, just couldn't make it happen. Here down by 10 to Lighthouse, potentially going up by 2, maybe 4. They like their comebacks.
They like to keep it dramatic and close as Anthony gets tripped up in the backfield, and that's Kobe Sweat.
Big boy with the tackle.
There you go.
And he depleted himself. He lost his shoe. Like it's gone. Well, it's off his foot.
Shoe just came untied. He'll be fine.
Of course, they're Nikes.
As Walker scrambles, tries to get past the man, loses the football, and Lighthouse gets it. Not the thing you wanted to happen, especially that close to the end zone.
Great job by Lighthouse stepping up to the rising to the challenge and shutting the drive down.
As you see the replay there, just popped out last second, and just an unfortunate situation for the Warriors.
Defense going to have to make a stand. The good thing is they are on the other end of the field. What I was saying a second ago. Of course, Kobe's wearing some Nike cleats. So we had our issues with those a couple weeks ago with, I believe it was Cam B. Had the same issues with his shoelace. Hasn't had issues today. He must be wearing Under Armours. So I'm trying to look. Is he on the field? He is on the field. Nah, it looks like he's – no, he was wearing Adidas.
And Nesbitt will spin and get tripped up behind the line of scrimmage, and likely this will take us to the end of the third quarter. Lighthouse is leading by 4 over the Bowling Green Warriors on their senior day, and 12 minutes left before Lighthouse can get some momentum going into the quarterfinals. We'll be right back. Coach Don Brown going into today's game is 17-26 and trying to go 18-26 to end his head coach career with the Bowling Green Warriors, as the start of the fourth quarter goes with Jamari Teague, the rush up the middle, Spencer Tomset, and James Shannon bringing the action from the back of Don Brown's pickup truck in Western Kentucky at Bowling Green. As
should be a fun fourth quarter.
Close game.
That's what you like on Halloween. I always wondered if it was going to be a trick or a treat, and we got a treat. It's a good game.
And so another rush of the middle. Jamari Teague weaving through, and Teague is going to head to the end zone. No flags on the field, and Teague in for the touchdown.
There's a burst of speed through the line. Big old Mack truck hole, and he is hobbling bad. Might be cramping a little bit. But a big old run and absolutely putting some distance between the two.
Trying to take more of a stronghold on the lead as head into the fourth quarter. 2-point conversion step coming up to make the game a lead by 12. And Bowling Green has not made a 2-point conversion at this point, so 2-possession game. They get 2 touchdowns to tie it up.
2-possession, even if they don't get this 2-point conversion for Lighthouse. Did he get it? Flag.
Flag down. It's holding against the offense. That's declined, so the 2-point conversion attempt is no good. So
You got a 10-point game here, Spence.
still a 10-point game here in Bowling Green. We'll get you that wide shot, and we'll get you Coach Hollis. Look at their record thus far. Coach Hollis going into the year 3-5 going into his second season overall. So 3-6, 4-6, 4-7, and 4-8 so far in the year. Looking to go 5-8 in his second year at the helm of Lighthouse Christian School's program. So I guess they're trying the 2-point conversion attempt again with the penalty there as Nesbitt carries it up middle.
Snap exchange wasn't great. And it
So
costed them.
there we go. Yep, 2-point conversion attempt is no good. So they chose to accept the penalty. It said it was declined on the field. So that's what we were looking at that point. So now it'll head over to the kickoff. As get you a wide shot there and 10-point game.
Spence, of course, interesting weekend in 8-man football. 4 games canceled. South Haven Christian and Franklin Classical, Franklin Christian, Christian Community, Tennessee Heat, and Memphis Nighthawks, and then Sacred Heart and Freedom. Still 3 good football games happening. Of course, last night, Riverside getting the win over Providence Christian. Providence wrapping up their inaugural season. They're still looking for the first win, but a great first season for the Lions, and something that those seniors and those young men won't forget anytime soon.
What was it that Ferguson said? Was that if you want a chance to beat us, it's going to be now.
Yeah. And most of those guys had never played a snap of organized football, is what Coach told us. So, you could have an inaugural season where you got blown out of your games, but Classical had to come from behind.
As it's picked up and lost, Lighthouse gets the onside kick recovery. And if Lighthouse gets another score in here, that might be the nail in the coffin.
Just a little mishandled there, and Lighthouse, great job covering the kick, able to get up on top of it.
Looks like it was Hunter Kaiser who tried to get possession of the ball for Bowling Green on the kickoff, but now Lighthouse, new set of downs for them on offense.
But you look at Providence Christian, Classical had to come from behind. Last night it was tied at 22, I believe. The game against FCA, they had them down 16-15, and FCA able to come back, or 16-14 rather.
And ball lost again, and Bowling Green recovers it. So what was an onside kick recovery is now a fumble recovery from Bowling Green. Reversal of fortune there.
They were sitting there, and they said, "You have the ball. No, you have the ball. No, you have the ball. No, you have the ball." Bowling Green, good job getting the recovery and getting back on it. They needed that right there.
Still a 2-possession game. Again, Bowling Green has come back from behind on larger deficits than this. 2 weeks ago in our coverage of the game against Sacred Heart, down 34-14 and managed to get it back 34-26 as Walker is going to toss it and almost made a catch. If Blankenship had pulled that in, it would have been incredible.
Had his hand on it. That was a good shot. That was a good try.
So now a 2nd down and 10.
So Providence, close game against Franklin Christian, or at least for the majority of the game.
Yep.
Classical had to come from behind. Riverside, close game. They did get whooped up on by Ezel Harding. as well as
FCA. Oh, sorry, not FCA.
not FCA.
Who's our other opponent? Lancaster.
You get the helmet. Let's give it right there.
As carried the left side by Blankenship against FCA.
Took the loss to Lancaster. Yeah, that's their 6 games.
Yep.
So, I mean, you could have had I've seen teams have a worse first season than what Providence had. And Coach Ferguson did a great job getting those guys up and rolling. But, you know, of course, so you had that game last night. You also had Eastville Harding clinching the number 2 seed.
Yep.
And then this one today.
As Blankenship gets the first down.
And I'll tell you what, Spence. Do you know where you can hear analysis of the 3 games and hear some talk about the upcoming playoff games next week?
No, not really. I don't.
It's on Extreme Radio, presented by Grace Point Healthcare.
Oh, our show.
It's tomorrow. Yeah, that
you're
show.
talking about
that
something
show.
else.
You know, that Sunday show. It's tomorrow, 4 p.m. right here on our YouTube channel.
You can hear from the Stephen A. Smith of 8-Man Football and James Shannon.
Well, I've handed the mantle a little bit to Jack. He's
a little bit, just a little bit.
He's kind of moving forward with it, but you know, my hot takes. I'll try to be more positive. Try not to have as many negative things to say, but.
So now it's 2nd down and 11.
I mean, I guess there's a lot of eyes on you when you're the only 8-Man Football weekly show recapping games in the Southeast. There's a lot of eyes on you.
Yeah, the only one that's giving a video broadcast consistently and covering them as in depth as we do. As a toss there, a catch made, and Noah Scott is gonna plow into the end zone for a touchdown.
It's a big stiff arm by the young man and a great job by the junior. Walker found his man. He's been looking for that throw all afternoon.
He took a shot while he was tossing it too.
A great throw. Great job.
Make that now 22-18. So it's a 4-point game. They have a chance to make it a 2-point game, but no 2-point conversions have been made all night. As Walker is going to head to the pylon, stretches out. The signal is short. Stepped out of bounds.
Didn't quite get to the pylon. The young man on the naked bootleg just could not make it happen.
All right, the winner of the
So now 22-18 as we
Spence?
get you watch.
You sure they marked it no good? Because they've got 22-20 on the scoreboard.
Didn't see a signal.
Anthony, you are the winner.
I'm kind of confused there, Spence.
I didn't see this. I didn't see the signal. The official was pointing to the sideline as if he stepped out short.
I guess the score's 22-20.
For the 50-50.
Officials are discussing it.
It's going to be 8-5-1-3.
Oh, they're about to change it.
Yeah, I think they're having some discussion about it.
1 is the cake winner. Ticket number.
We're waiting for it.
No, it is. They're going to leave it, Spence.
I guess so.
It is
Unless somebody
22-20.
notices it. Yep.
I thought they made the motion for no good, but
All right.
wasn't the first time I've been wrong.
No, because
And it's
same
not the
thing
last.
with you. I guess maybe they discussed it or something. I don't know.
It's not the last either.
Or maybe the officials haven't noticed what's on the scoreboard yet. Maybe
No,
they'll
they've
change
seen it.
later.
I think they've seen it.
Bowling Green attempting the onside kick. It does go 10 yards, and it's fallen on as the.
Looks like Nesbitt was the one able to grab it.
Mm-hmm.
No, Jared Campbell, the senior.
Yep.
Been here for been at Lighthouse for a while now. Young man getting a little action here on regular season finale. Got one more game coming up. These Lighthouse
At the minimum, one more game.
Well, and these Lighthouse seniors, going back 2018, they weren't in the playoffs.
Yep, 2018 they were. Say 2017 they lost in the bowl game to Sewanee. 2018 ineligible for the postseason. 2019
Last year just didn't ineligible.
Last year it said they lost to Bowling Green.
That's right. They lost to Bowling Green. You're right.
And that's what did the domino effect there.
So these seniors have never played in a play. I mean, unless, 8th grade, they were there for the 2016 game against.
As flag there.
2016.
Encroachment.
2016 Lighthouse did play. It was Webb in a playoff game because you also had Sacred Heart and FCA. So unless some of these seniors were playing as 8th graders, they've never played in a playoff game. So special situation for them. And they don't have to go far for it either.
1st and 5. Hand it off up the middle. And stopped for forward progress with a loss of 2.
They have corrected it.
Yep.
It is 22-18.
Told you they may just not noticed it yet. And the clock not running at all. There we go. Started there a little.
They do have the because of the field situation. This is a baseball outfield.
Yep.
It's technically a rugby field.
You can see the field house in the distance on the camera too.
Technically a rugby field that they play football on, and that means the scoreboard is way off here to the left.
Direct snap. Teague trying to get back to the line of scrimmage. He's ruled down by contact before the ball popped out.
Let's see if I've got the cord to do this.
Trying to show us something.
For those of you who have never been here, just a little walkthrough. So you come over here to the right. Of course, here's your DJ.
Fans
you got the
from
parking
Lighthouse
lot
over here
Fans
as well.
from Lighthouse. You got the parking lot over to the side. Come around, another field. There's your field house. More fields. Come around. Wow, there's my hand. Bowling Green Film Guy, and then your scoreboard
My car.
right there. Scoreboard all the way out there in the outfield.
There's the main road over there. My car as well, and
it's where it's supposed to be because it's technically a baseball field. And of course, Bowling Green's played here ever since day one.
Yep. And maybe the streak will continue there because I believe Legacy Christian they've got the space at their land to build a soccer stadium.
You never know. It won't be a stadium.
It'll just be a field.
Ain't nobody putting a stadium around anytime soon.
It's now a 3rd down and 7 after Lighthouse called a timeout. And loses the football. Picked back up by Nesbitt. Nesbitt possessing it, hand clamped to his shin. About 8:40.
Be 4th down. If they can make the stop here, Bowling Green has a shot. Just over 8.5 minutes to go. And Shane Walker, great touchdown pass on the last drive. Like I said, Blankenship has the pick 6. They've been able to make some plays. Blankenship also had a touchdown pass. Nesbitt's guy had 2 touchdown runs, and Teague had a touchdown run.
And Nesbitt with the toss to the left side tries to go back to it. Several flags fly.
They will call the pass interference on. That's 18.
And waiting for the call from the official. Looks like they're going to make a call pass interference on the defense. Didn't get the replay on it, but they move it up in a lucky break for Lighthouse.
And it's a huge break for Lighthouse at this point. Just run the clock out and got a shot to make it happen. Shot to just close the game out.
First and 10 as Nesbitt goes up the middle. Gain of a few yards.
Just run the ball and run the clock out. That's all you got to do if you're Lighthouse, and wrap it up. Bowling Green, they have made stops. They had a stop going right there. They were going to make it happen, but just unable to.
That's the main term you use. They maybe just hand it off to T, grab Nesbitt. They do the dink and dunk, dink and dunk.
Just dink and dunk it down the field.
Yep.
Yeah.
As shovel pass over to Teague has a little bit of an opening to get to the 24-yard line. And that at least stops the clock there as they were trying to run it out. So now 7:27 left to go in the fourth. Nesbitt, deep toss to the left and incomplete.
Just underthrew his man. Another fourth down coming up.
Fourth down coming up here.
This is all going to come down to Nesbitt right here. Depending on the play call, whether it's a run or a pass, what decisions he makes, it's going to come down to this young man. And I see them giving it to Teague right here. I think they hand it off right now, right here. Or a quarterback keeper for Nesbitt. Oh,
Nesbitt across the middle and incomplete.
There's no flags. It was good coverage.
Looked like one of the officials. I can't tell from this angle. It looked like he pulled a flag out of his pocket there.
Can we hit the replay?
Yeah, the Lighthouse fans are not happy.
He's spoiling with one pass interference flag. No, he was going for the tackle. He thought he had the catch, and he was going for the tackle. Hit it one more. Hit it one more time, Spence.
Close one that you have to make in real-time scenario, but yeah.
Yeah, I mean, if you look, he thought he was going to catch the ball, and he was going for the tackle. He was not trying to impede him from catching the ball. That's my point.
So now a new set of downs for the Warriors as they try to get it off here. It's a shovel pass to Blankenship. Gain of about 6-7. Gain of 7 for a 2nd and 3.
And again, it's going to come down to the quarterbacks. This is Shane Nesbitt's chance right here, or Shane Nesbitt.
And offsides on Lighthouse. That'll give him a first down. Excuse me, encroachment. There's no offsides in high school football. Learned that from Ronnie Perkins.
He would have cracked down on you pretty hard there,
Oh,
Spence.
yeah. That's why I had to correct myself. Now 1st and 10 on 36. Bowling Green has a chance to take the lead on this drive, and time called. Time called by the official. They got the down indicator and distance incorrect, so they fix it there to 1st and 10. Walker got space. He shovels it over to Blankenship, who gets out of bounds at the 38-yard line in Lions territory.
He didn't get out of bounds. He got yeeted out of bounds by Nesbitt. Great stop. Makes it an interesting 2nd and 5.
Just about in midfield is what was spotted on the 39, but in Lions territory. As the Warriors knocking on the door of taking the lead. Walker under pressure. He's brought down by Sweat and company.
That's Teague. Sweat and Teague got in there on Walker and dropped him. That's a big stop. It's a big stop because now it's third and 12. They're going to air it out here, Spence. They're going to take a shot. You have to.
Facing a 3rd and 11. Walker, left side. He's going to carry it up the middle, weave through. Walker, not quite to the first down, about a yard or two short, but Walker's down.
Well, I was wrong. I decided to let the young man keep it and let him go with it. Looks like
Walker's clenching
looks like a
his arm.
stinger. Like a stinger, maybe on his arm, elbow.
And
He may have taken a stinger.
He's staying in for his team. It's now 4th and 2.
Here you go. Here's your ball game, Spence.
4th down and 2. Both fan bases starting to cheer on their team as Walker pitches in the backfield. The Blankenship. He stopped short. Lighthouse will turn it over.
Great job by Lighthouse's defense getting in there, making the stop. That was a big play there. They brought I formation. They brought 8 into the box. Everybody knew what was coming right there. Who was that right there? Was that Searcy? That was Searcy. Got in there and made the tackle. That's a big stop. It's huge. It's a huge stop.
So now Lighthouse has the ball. The big thing is Bowling Green has stopped them before.
Yeah, but right now you're going to get a good, healthy dose of Jamari Teague.
And possibly move it up 5 yards for an offsides. Encroachment. So 5 yards for encroachment on the Warriors. So 1st and 5 coming up. Handoff up the middle, carry, and rush up the middle as they move the chains for another 1st down.
Spencer, I believe in the recipe to end this game with a dub, Pauly Dean would call for a healthy dose of Jamari Teague. Maybe a sprinkle of Nesbitt's quarterback keepers.
5:28 left to go in the game as the Warriors call a timeout, a new set of downs for the Lions. Warriors trying to get a defensive stop here, and Lighthouse leading by 4.
Looking to close it out.
The Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week is sponsored by Grace Point Healthcare, modern medicine the old-fashioned way. Grow, Live, Give, helping you fit all of the pieces together in your financial puzzle. Tennessee Heat Athletics, visit TennesseeHeatSports.com, and by Jets Pizza of Springfield, Fort Campbell, Clarksville, and Goodlettsville. Let's get Jets. Spencer Thompson and James Shannon bringing you the action here from Bowling Green, Kentucky.
No, sir. No. It's Bowling Green, Kentucky.
I thought you just said you didn't miss that.
Yeah, for nostalgia
Well,
reasons.
yeah. I'm sure that, nostalgia, they'll still have, if they still continue to play their games here at WKU, I'm sure they'll still have them in some
They'll
capacity.
call it on the offense. They'll call false start. So they give them the 5 yards back.
Move it back 5 to Bowling Green's advantage. .5:26 left to go in the game. As they hand it off to Teague. All right, Teague weaving through. About 2 yards short of the 1st down marker.
Big carry by the senior. And you know it's weighing heavy on him. You want to get this win here because you got a big game next Friday. and it's potentially the last game of your career, unless you're able to go play at the next level. So you got to show up and show out. That's the case for all these senior. And you see Kobe Sputt playing well today. You see Teague. You see Jared Campbell contributing there. I mean, he's been right guard for a while.
As they lose the football, the Warriors fall on it.
And even last week, they had trouble with the center quarterback exchange. Had a couple issues with it today, and it just came back to haunt them. So Bowling Green's got a shot here.
As you can see on the turnover replay here, is just a miss snap there with Nesbitt, and with that miss, great awareness by the Warriors to fall on it. And now in the final 5 minutes, the Warriors have a chance to get their first win of the year and the final win.
Comes down to Shane Walker right here. This is the drive they couldn't get done against Sacred Heart.
Walker looks for the pass, right side, over toss, just tipped at the last second. That was Searcy, the man to prevent it.
Looking for Cam B, and you're going to see him look for Cam B quite a bit on this drive. Him and Blankenship. This is again, as like I said, they had this same situation against Sacred Heart. This is the drive they couldn't get done in Jackson. They can get it done right here and send off Coach Brown with the dub. It was a great breakup, too.
2nd and 10. Walker tripped up behind the line. That was
Campbell.
Campbell, yep.
Campbell got in on there. Mentioned it a second ago. He's played right guard, but then on defense, they're at the defensive end position with just a great job reading the play and making it happen.
So now on 3rd and 10, and as you mentioned, they couldn't get the job done on the final drive. Of course, some penalty calls didn't go their way. But with a 3rd and 12, Warriors have got to get some big yard gains here. As Walker has got pressure. Walker looking for something to go with, is going to air it out towards the middle and almost picked up. And now it's a 4th down.
And that was Teague with the breakup. Teague and Searcy have been single-handedly holding off this passing attack minus the Bowling Green touchdown early in the game. They've done a great job breaking up these passes and being in good position to make it happen, make the plays.
Fourth down and 12. This is your ball game. If Lighthouse can run it down.
That's my line.
Deep toss across the middle, and Blankenship
what a
pulls
catch!
it in.
Holy shiitake, what a catch! Good night in the morning. And Merry Christmas to all. Blankenship. He found an invisible ladder up here at the 35-yard line. Oh, my goodness.
He may have just won the game for Bowling Green if they could pull it out of here. So now a 1st and 10 in Lighthouse territory.
And a great throw by Walker, too. He put it where Blankenship had to go get it or it wasn't happening.
Walker under pressure from Sweat, gets the pass off, and it's picked. Oh! Almost a game-ending interception from Searcy.
Oh.
Couldn't secure it there. Talk about the drama late in the 4th.
Good night. You have a play like that with the catch from Blankenship and then right into the hands of Searcy, just about ended it. Hey, guess what? Searcy might get a Christmas card from Walker. He just might.
Depends on how the result goes on this drive. 2nd and 10, and flags fly. Do they get him for a false start?
Or is it encroachment? Yeah, it's encroachment.
Encroachment, move it up 5 yards for a 2nd and 5. It was like a weird time to be playing music.
It's like the randomest, like.
Yeah, they haven't been doing DJ stuff all game. It's just not dissing it. He's had some good tunes today, but.
You are the only person I know that uses the word tunes. He's got some good tunes. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I'm just saying you're the only person I know that uses the word tunes.
Got to stay unique in this world somehow. 2nd and 5 as it's lost in the backfield, but Blankenship fell back on it.
He also had big old Landon Turner bearing down on him. He had to get down on that ball.
Great awareness. And 3 minutes and winding down. It's now a 3rd and 10. Now the Warriors, if they score here, they're doing what Lighthouse was unable to do earlier, and that was run out the clock.
Yeah.
Walker, he's got Sweat pressuring him into the right side. Incomplete. And now 4th down.
Looks like it was Blankenship trying to lay out for the ball.
And Searcy was in coverage.
So he's 1 of 3 in terms of diving catch attempts. But the one he got was incredible. And a big game turner. Here's your ball game, Spence.
Here's your ball game.
We love that saying. Here's your ball game.
Several hundred seconds. 4th and 10. Walker. And
Oh, they
move
got
it
him.
there. Did they get an encroachment? No, it's waved off. Even the ref saying to the crowd, he waved it off. Chill. No flag. So now a 4th and 10. This is your game here. Walker scrambling to keep it alive. Walker has got the right side. He's got space to run. He's going to get the 1st down and a little bit more. Extends the drive, and Shane Walker, the junior, is the reason that the Warriors are still in this ball game.
Great run by the young man. And he's one of these quarterbacks that he's going to run around in the backfield. It's a Patrick Mahomes situation. I'm not saying he's Patrick Mahomes, but it's like what he does. He's going to run around in the backfield, and his eyes are constantly down the field. And when he has nothing left he can do, then he'll run it.
Or if you want to make it a
And that's
more,
how And that's how all quarterbacks should be, by the way. I'm sorry. That's how all quarterbacks should be. Run around, but always keep your eyes downfield.
If you want to make it more, talk about that in a second as Walker stays on his feet. He's ruled out of bounds.
Oh.
Can't see it from the you can't see it from the players that are blocking the field, but if you want to make it more relevant in history, it's like Ashlock. Ran around in the pocket for hours and hours is what it seemed like.
He was good. He was good at that.
2nd and 16 as Walker's ruled that he stepped out of bounds on the far side.
And if they score here, Lighthouse really is not going to have a whole lot of time. This might be the last drive of the game, Spence, unless there's a turnover and Lighthouse has to run the clock out.
Walker is pressured, loses the football as he tosses it forward, and it's an incomplete pass.
It is a forward throw.
Yep. Even Hollis on the sideline was going, nope. Emmanuel Noe picked up the ball immediately in case it was ruled a fumble, but now a 3rd down and 16.
Well, and he did not get it back to the line of scrimmage, I don't believe, but there was a man in the vicinity. Third and 15.
About 1:49 left to go in the 4th. Walker tosses it to the right side and tipped at the last second.
And that was Nesbitt with the pass breakup.
Yep. That's been the story of the game for Lighthouse on defense. They've been able to just swat the ball last second, prevent any catches from being made.
Yep.
So now 4th and 16.
Walker's made it happen all day. He's going to have to make a play here or it's over.
There's the I formation again. 4th down and 16. Walker got blockers. He's looking for something. He's got pressure from Sweat, and that's ball game.
Miscommunication with Cam B.
turn it over on downs. Bowling Green's hope here is to, I don't know how many timeouts they have remaining, but their hope here, saving grace would be try and get Lighthouse to turn it over. .96 ticks left on the scoreboard. 96 ticks left on Don Brown's head coach.
We're going to get a
career.
timeout.
This timeout is called by Lighthouse. Be sure to stick around for the post-game report. We'll get you an interview with, if the score holds, we'll get you an interview with Coach Hollis. Be the first time that we've gotten him on the post-game interview from the Lighthouse games we've done. And we'll go from there.
And the biggest thing right now for Lighthouse is ball security, because they were trying to get the game wrapped up on that last drive they had, and just had a bad exchange on the snap. You got to have good snaps. You got to have good handoffs from Nesbitt to Teague, or if you're Nesbitt, keep the ball security, really for both Nesbitt and Teague. But those are your keys right now. That's what you have to do.
1st and 10 for Lighthouse.
And the dinosaur's back, Spence.
The dinosaur is back. So they're going to take, they're going to hand it off. There's Teague wrapped up and tackled in the backfield by Anthony.
Timeout by Bowling Green.
Yep, Don Brown calls a timeout. And it's another one there. Well, while they call that timeout there, let's look at the dinosaur.
Let's give the dinosaur some
Let's
love.
give the dinosaur some love. I mean, looks a little bit lopsided there. The kid fell over at me.
Aww.
This is one of those situations where maybe it would have been good to bring your kids here.
No.
I'm talking about for the dinosaur.
Well, I don't know. Well, no, I know. I'm just. I mean, I guess. I don't know. I don't know if they would have been scared, if they would have run up and punched it. I don't know.
Kids would have.
My son's a little violent. He's 4. He's, you know.
The frivolent force, huh?
He thinks he's Jeff Hardy and Triple H mixed in one.
It's okay. So you're showing him WWE. That's one.
No, he just thinks he's all that in a bag of chocolates, and he is.
2nd down here as they stop Nesbitt behind, and looks like, I believe that's the final timeout for Bowling Green.
It was a high snap, so Nesbitt had to burn some time to get it down and get the run going, and that gave Bowling Green's defense time to get in the backfield.
So now on a 3rd down, this is one of those situations. I believe that's their final timeout of the half. If they've got one more, certainly benefits them, but they'll have to. I wonder how many.
No, that is their last.
Yep. I wonder how many situations I wonder how many times in practice Don Brown has gone over if we're rushing down the field and trying to clock the snap. Wonder how many times they've gone over that.
You have to go over it at some point in your season. So with a 30-second play clock, or is it 40? I think it's 30.
Probably 30, 35, something around that. I know, yeah, it's 40 and.
No matter what, without a first down, Bowling Green should get at least one more offensive play in this game.
1:21 left on the scoreboard. Nesbitt has got some space. And he's stopped by the defensive line, pushing the pile, and finally stopped. And
play designed to go outside. It looked to him like he didn't have any space. Bounces back inside, but Bowling Green was there. Cooper Guy looked like he was on the tackle. Cam B, as well as Noah Scott.
They'll wind it down. Probably call a timeout to get as much time off the game clock as possible.
And they're going to wait for the back judge's arm to start coming down.
Yep. 30 ticks left.
They're going to get this clock as low as they can.
And
they're going to get the delay of game. Yep. They're just going to take the 5-yard loss and more than likely punt it away. So Bowling Green should get the ball back with about 10 seconds. You got time for a play or two.
they move it back 5 yards.
And that's if they punt. Surely they punt it here. Yeah, because Teague's out there and Teague's their punter. He's backing up. He's going to punt it away. If you're Bowling Green, you got to get a guy back.
Surprise! There we
There
go.
he goes. There goes Walker. Walker could take this to the house right now.
Could close it. And punted high up, and it'll be. And it's falling on by Bowling Green at 36. Oh, they could have lost it and fully.
They got lucky there. All right, 9 seconds spent. You got to go 36 yards.
I was kind of hoping it'd be 10 seconds so we could use the iconic quote from that 2017 playoff game, but.
What's that?
Here's your ball game. 10 seconds. It's promo best now.
That's not what I sound like.
Yeah, that's what you
That's
sounded
what somebody
like
else sounds like.
That's what you
That's not
sounded
me.
like in that moment. Because your voice was very high pitched. You were
10
very
seconds.
excited. Yes.
All right, here you go.
Maybe 2 plays and the trickery from Don Brown.
It's a swinging gate formation.
As Walker is going to take it out of bounds. Didn't like what he saw. 4 seconds.
At this point, if you're Lighthouse, everybody goes back to the 10 except for maybe Sweat and Turner. If you're Bowling Green, you got 4 wide and you're just going.
Again, post-game show, we'll interview Coach Hollis, assuming the score holds, or if the Miracles pull off, we'll interview Don Brown.
This is it. This is the kind of game and broadcast you hope for, Spence. Last play of the game determines the outcome.
4 seconds. Walker's got a man behind him. As the clock is about to expire, Walker airs it out. Overthrown, and that's the ball game. Lighthouse gets the win. They've got momentum heading to the playoff game against the Ezo Harding Eagles. And for Don Brown in his coaching career, he'll end with 18 and 27 on his coaching career after 6 seasons. We're going to head to the field for the post game and interview Coach Brian Hollis. Be sure to stick around. Thank you for watching the Kingdom.com Extreme Game of the Week. Welcome everybody to the postgame show. I'm Spencer Thompson. The final score on the scoreboard: 22-18. The final here as Lighthouse gets the job done on the road, and they've got momentum as they head to Ezel Harding next week in the playoff game for the TSIAA. Of course, for Bowling Green, unfortunately taking the loss, and they'll end their season today. We'll get a word with Coach Brian Hollis in just a few moments. He's talking with his guys and regrouping with them. And James, while we're waiting on Coach Hollis, any thoughts going into Extreme Radio on Sunday?
Well, definitely, and Coach Hollis has pointed it out, defensively they did a great job. Jamari Teague, Colby Searcy, Nesbitt, just some great defensive stops, especially on the passing attempts. But offense, you know what, they struggled a little bit like they did last week against Christian Community, and got a couple of things to clean up before they get to Ezel Harding.
It makes it easier anyway. And welcome for the first time to the post-game interview, Coach Brian Hollis. And Coach, congratulations on the win. You guys had a tough and close fight with the Warriors. What is it you told your guys at halftime to try and rally back and win this football game?
Well, I tell you, that Bowling Green team sure did put up a fight today. So I told them in that second half it was just going to be who wanted it more. They wanted that win real bad. Fortunately, our defense came to play a little bit today, so that won us the ball game. But, yeah, I told them at halftime it was going to be a fight the rest of the way.
And you had so many moments where some of your seniors and junior leaders stepped up, including guys like TJ Nesbitt had so many batted down passes that helped shape the outcome of the game. How proud are you of your guys and the leadership they showed in today's contest?
Well, defensively, I'm really proud of them. We got to figure out how to match that intensity on offense. But defensively, they did a really good job. And Kobe Sweat, EJ, all stepping up, being leaders on the defense. Emmanuel No, he played lights out tonight too. So, yeah, real proud of how they played on defense.
And, of course, you've got a lot of seniors who know that next week could potentially be their final game of their careers as you have a tough matchup on the road against the Ezel Harding Eagles. What are you going to tell your guys going into that playoff game to try and pull off the upset against the defending conference champions?
Well, we're going to have to ground it out. That's a really good football team over there at Ezel. They got 3 or 4 guys that can run the ball. The Lydell kid's electric. Braxton Coleman's a beast. Their defense is steady. I mean, it's a really good football team, so we're going to have to grind it out. And we're going to have to play a little tougher than we did today if we're going to compete with Ezel.
Hopefully we'll see it happen. Congratulations on the win, Coach. We'll see you next week.
Thank you, sir.
All right, James, that's going to wrap it up here for the Extreme Game of the Week. 22-18, the final score in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Be sure to tune in to Extreme Radio on Sunday at 4 p.m. So tomorrow we'll recap all the games that have happened in the conclusion of the regular season for 8-man football around the region. We'll get you set for the TSIAA playoffs, as well as another game that we're planning on doing that we'll reveal for you on Sunday. For James Shannon, for Zachary Lone, and Jack Helwig watching from a distance, I'm Spencer Thompson. We'll see you guys for Extreme Radio tomorrow. Have a good rest of your Halloween, everybody.